Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, today we're going to be talking about the Justice Department, aka the DOJ, going after Google and pretty much trying to cut it in half, trying to make it break it up, because obviously they are an evil monopoly, they're illegal, and it needs to be broken up into tiny pieces. So what we have here from the New York Post is saying, the Justice Department considering push for historic breakup of Google after landmark antitrust ruling. The Justice Department is reportedly considering a push for a historic breakup of Google's business empire after a federal judge ruled the big tech giant has an illegal monopoly over online search. So we'll be collecting this here. Yeah, so Google is a monopolist, search giant broke antitrust laws, and landmark case, judge rules. So it goes on to say here that the DOJ attorneys could ask Judge Amit Mehta to order Google to sell portions of its business with potential candidates for divestment, including its Android operating system, Chrome web browser, and advertising platform of AdWords. A potential sell-off of Android, who the world's most widely used operating system, has generated the most discussion among the DOJ attorneys cracking the agency's plan, the outlet said, citing sources with knowledge of the agency's discussions. The feds are also weighing less severe options, such as requiring Google to share data with rival search engines such as DuckDuckGo and Microsoft's Bing. I think they should do this. And they should also be broken up. That's just me. Because that way, that will allow other companies to be able to get this search data, be able to work with this search data, be able to work with their code, etc., and be able to actually have a competition against Google, and maybe put Google in its place. Maybe Google will not be able to have the monopoly that it has if other companies are able to catch up and be able and, put it behind the back burner. As it goes on to say here, they could also seek to impose restrictions on Google's artificial intelligence products to prevent it from gaining an unfair advantage. For example, the DOJ could ask Meta to block Google from requiring companies to allow it to scrap their content in exchange for appearing in search results. In a landmark ruling last week, Meta determined that Google is a monopolist that has relied on billions of dollars in payments to partners like Apple, Samsung, and AT&T, including $26.3 billion in 2021 alone, to ensure its search engine is enabled by default on most smartphones. Yeah, that is pretty huge. Now, I think it's kind of like more of an issue here where you're going to go down with on smartphones and stuff like that in Apple. And that's just because of the mere fact, which search engine you're going to have the smartphone use. You would have to have, certain smartphones be, I guess, randomized in a way. So I guess you could randomize it for smartphones, but I don't know what they're going to do there with that part. It says Meta ruled Google violated Section 2 of the Sherman Antitrust Act in two markets, general search services and general text advertising, and found that the default search engine deals are exclusive and have anti-competitive effects. The DOJ is expected to ask Meta to block Google from offering default deals in the future. Google shares fell more than 1% in after-hours trading Tuesday. A proposal to break up Google would be the first of its kind by the feds in more than 20 years. The DOJ won a major antitrust case against Microsoft, but later abandoned a push to break up the company in 2001. So, yeah, that is what's going on with Google, and there is a bit more. This is from Nick Sorter. He's saying that the U.S. DOJ is currently considering suing and breaking up Google after a court ruled last week that the company monopolized the search market. This comes just days after it was revealed Google is meddling in search results to push the Kamala Harris campaign. The Biden DOJ never acts in good faith. So what's their motivation here? Intimidate Google into doing the regime's dirty work. Because, as we can see here, Kamala Harris did pay Google in order to promote her campaign, which was to just show fake ads, which is kind of a big deal considering the fact that that is horribly illegal. I mean, as I said before, you are doing bribery. You're not allowed to do this as a vice president or president or what have you, because that could be, that qualifies you for impeachment, and it's also breaking, the bloody law. So, I don't know what what Kamala Harris was doing, but of course we all know the Democrats work under their own type of regime type planning. Again, we have this here from the leading report. DOJ is reportedly considering breaking up Alphabet's Google after a landmark court ruling found that the company monopolized the online search market. And of course, we have this here from the New York Times with their deal book saying Google's stock falls as the government weighs breaking up the company. Goes on to say here that Google faces a reckoning. Shares in Alphabet, Google's parent company, were down in pre-market trading on Wednesday on news that the Justice Department is said to be considering breaking up the technology giant for maintaining an illegal search monopoly. That would be a devastating blow for the company, but it could also have a huge ramifications for the broader tech sector with Apple, Amazon, and Meta all facing their own antitrust battles with the government. Now, I agree with all of this, right? I agree that Google needs to be broken up. I agree that Facebook needs to be broken up. I think all these social media giants need to be broken up because they're just too powerful. They have too much power and they're able to kind of do whatever they want at the behest of the government, etc. And I think what needs to happen here is that if Google is broken up, I would like to see their search engine technically be the one broken up here. Because if they break up the search engine and they give it and they give the data and everything else to other people, then we can use that to have other companies rise up, compete against Google, and be able to shut Google out with the horizon competition that Google has been having for so long. So, again, I think it's positive because Google has been using its search engine and its algorithm to really just boost up far left-leaning websites such as CNN, MSNBC, etc. And these are just the sites that they'll bring it up, and it makes it very hard to find other sites like the Post Millennial, etc. that's there. So, again, I think it's a great thing, and I think Facebook needs to be broken up too. They're way too powerful. They control the narrative way too much, and I think breaking them up will reduce their power significantly and make them not be such a monopolized illegal giant that they are. So that's my feelings on. That's my way of thinking on it. I wouldn't say feelings because that'd be inaccurate, but that's the way I think it is. I think it will be a good thing, and it needs to happen sooner or later. So, yeah. Alright, guys. That's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. Cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.